Здравствуй, мой друг. Как дела? Меня зовут Mark. Добрый пожаловать в мою школу. Hi, everybody, it's Mark. Welcome to Classic Martial Arts this week. Today is going to be some scientific work digging into the science of cutting and maintaining its equilibrium. I'm going to show you a graph that I put together today, and it's on using a half-gallon milk bottle again, like I did last week. And I'm going to go ahead and show you kind of the scientific of what's going on with the slicing and why the difference between the chopping and the blade slicing occurs. So let's get started. Alright, so there's the blade. Here's my Shashka laid out on the zero line. This is the zero line right here. You can see here the different positions for the grip. So we're going to go down here. Here's the 7-inch mark. There's the target lined up. We're going to come over here. I'm going to move this to here. Same aspect. Okay, that's the 14-inch right there. We move down here to the 21-inch. All right. So I want you to look at this point here. This is what passes through the target at the 7-inch line. Okay, this is just starting to pass through on the 14-inch line and just on the tip at the 21-inch line. Okay, so we continue on the arc of travel. We come over here and there's a 7-inch. It's passed through, but notice how straight this section of the blade is. Okay, now let's look at here at the 14. We've had a nice long travel, but now look here, when you get to the 21-inch, we've had much more of the arc of the blade. So when we continue with this arc of travel and we follow the zero line, it comes out to there. When we come here, we follow the 7-inch line. It travels out, continues on this line to there. So we follow it through the same position at 14, following it around, coming around, and we come out to here. Now we come over here, the 21-inch mark, and we follow, and here we come out to here. Then we'll step around. Let's look at this from another perspective. So at the end, this is my 21-inch. This is its arc of travel going backwards, all the way back to the starting line. Come down here to the 14, and we follow this around, continue tracking it around and around there to the 14. We come back here to the 7, same thing, we follow this around and it comes out over there. What does this mean to us? We're cutting through an object that's solid, right? It's filled with water, so it has resistance. We're going to pass through the object. So what, in this case, do we find to be the optimal curvature of the blade so the enough of the blade slices, not chops? So if you notice, this is the interesting part here. If you look here at the blade, and come down here and look at this. We start at the zero line, we come to here. We're really chopping into this. So instead of it slicing, we're chopping. As we come to the target, to the 14-inch line, we're what? We're slicing more. Okay? And if you look at the 21-inch, you can see that we're really slicing through this object nice and clean. So for this target, okay, so for this target at this position, what does that mean? That means that the optimum would be between 14 and 21 inches to cut this target and maintain its equilibrium, and then you have used the most of the blade to go ahead and cut. Okay, so here's another perspective of the arc of travel with the blades. So you can see the Shashka starting at the zero on the bottom, working its way through the targets, slicing, continuing to travel, and you see the arc continue as it goes off the graft. Okay, so here we're centered. Going to use the 7-inch mark to cut. Now, got a downward slant, came through, angled off like this. Bottom stayed, made it pretty good. These fabric milk cartons are not as good to cut as the plastic. The plastic gives you more resistance. All right, so now I'm here at the 14-inch line. Okay, so I'm going to cut on the 14-inch line. Much less resistance, cleaner cut. Come over here. We'll line this up, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut on the 21. Okay, so the goal is to have the 21-inch mark strike here and cut through. Much less resistance when cutting, much cleaner, more stability. So for this blade, when it came through here, you see how much that cut through versus this. It's a big difference in the way it felt. So, based on the experiment, this blade's optimum is at 21 inches. Again, you've got to get to know your blade, experiment with it, and learn its sweet spot. Now, so this is what I've determined for this blade based upon this arc. Спасибо, мои друзья, смотрели моя film. Thank you, my friends, for watching the film. До свидания, на здоровье, goodbye to your health. Увидимся долго, which is see you soon. Пока-пока, bye-bye.